This is LeBron's last year. I agree with Dan Patrick wholeheartedly. I think with this no-trade clause, he stays a Laker one more year to see what sort of moves they make this year. They're going to build a team around Luka, but he's going to stick around one more year to see if they can recapture any fortune and glory before he dips out. But this is his last year. Goodbye. He's not going to go out and pull an Aaron Rodgers, per se, meaning end up on another random team for one more year. How many more years does he have after this year? One more?
We forget.
There's no way. Unless he goes back to Cleveland.
We forget that he is still an impact player. LeBron James is still an
the
impact
stats are
player.
there, but he's still ready to retire and has life to live.
This is not a guy who's now he's there's guys that now he's scoring 18 to 20.
You want to go out on top.
He's still LeBron James. And Danny, you're a Lakers fan. I was going to say if they add a piece, I'm seeing some rumors about DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
If a guy like Ayton, a big man, if they add a piece like that, does LeBron have a chance to go out like a John Elway, like win and retire, or is
that would be nice,
right? I mean, is that?
But I mean, this always comes up whenever LeBron opts into an extension or a contract. The murmurs are always, well, he wants to see still if they're going to put winners around him. So we've seen this song and dance before. There are people who don't agree that this is going to be a farewell tour, that he's still going to play another 2 or 3 seasons. I know Bayer over the weekend, there's a video clip from Fox Sports where you're saying you don't think it's a farewell tour.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but I think it's the Lakers saying farewell to LeBron.
Okay.
That basically in last offseason, they signed him to a 1-and-1 deal. It said 1-year contract with a player option for the next. I don't think they wanted to give him an option for the next year. And I don't think that there's any teams that he wanted to go to this year that would have the money to pay him what he wanted. So I think he just opted in. But I think next year gives all those other teams the ability to maybe get ready for LeBron to leave L.A., and then he'll have his swan song, which I always felt was going back to Cleveland.
That would be
for
the
one
only
last
way.
year.
Yeah, I agree.
So
with
that's
you
why
there,
I don't think that it's. I don't think next year is his last year. I think he wants that go around the league and be honored for an entire season before
Just
he calls
do the
it quits.
math. Thank you, DB Dan Byer. Do you agree with what Dan's saying here? 877-99 on Fox, or what Dan Patrick said earlier that it is his farewell tour? I am caught in the middle because I do agree that if it is another year or two after this year with the Lakers, it can only be with Cleveland. He's just a kid from Akron, Ohio. It's not going to be with the Knicks or some other random team.
Been there, done that. I don't know. New York could be a very interesting farewell. And you heard him say New York.
He does say New York in that weird recorded clip.
What Dan Byer says is interesting because that has happened in other sports where a star player is told by the organization, like, hey, listen, like almost insinuating, like, if you're going to hang it up, this is your farewell tour from us. Like, I feel like that's been done with other players in other sports where you see a guy will be like, well, they thought I was done, but I'm really not done. And he might just be done in L.A.
Well, and a few weeks ago, we talked about the Guggenheim group coming in. They have no loyalty to LeBron.
Great point. Yep.
At the time, remember, we were saying, like, they are going to build for the future around Luka. So it would not surprise me if the writing is on the wall between the Lakers and LeBron.
And not to pump my Sunday show, but yesterday I compared it to marriages. That's how I've been doing it. There have been marriages that people are madly in love after 50 years, and there are others that are marriages out of convenience. And once one needs more than the other or doesn't need the other one more than the other, then it breaks. And I feel that's what happened with LeBron and the Lakers, where now the Lakers, because they have Luka, they don't need LeBron as much anymore. So they're going to go their own way, and then LeBron will end up going his.
Well, man, it's a lot to take in, a lot of moving parts. He's got the no-trade clause, like we said. He's got one more year this coming year with the Lakers. He's 40 years old now. It's a matter of how much gas you think he really has. And you already alluded to it, Rich. His stats show that he's still an effective player. But how much longer could he possibly want to play? He's 40 now.
But once you stop, it's over, buddy.
This year, okay, Lakers. You think he's got 1 or 2 more years after that? Because if it's 1, then I definitely think it's Cleveland, because you retire with that team that needs the most.
There's 2 teams.
If it's more than 1 year, then yeah, maybe the Knicks. I don't think you just go out with some random team. The fact that Aaron Rodgers is doing that, to me, tarnishes the legacy a little bit. We've seen every big star just dwindle off on random teams. I hate that look. I don't think LeBron is going to do that.
In the Eastern Conference, it just feels very wide open, right? Like, the Pacers made the NBA Finals, but, Halliburton's now, he's gone for a year. I'm just saying, like, the Eastern Conference, the Knicks and Cavs, the two teams you mentioned, are both right there. Add LeBron to either one of those two teams, and you could argue that, well, they're the best team now in the Eastern Conference.
Well, then I'll throw this out there.
Throw Boston in there, too, but he's not going there. But
If they could force the trade, right, you think he could say he wants to go to the Knicks this year?
No, I think we got one more in L.A.
Well, he's supposed
right?
to. Yeah, that was the option.
This is the awesome thing about it is there are really no wrong answers because you don't know what LeBron is going to do. I don't know if teams are really set up to do anything this offseason for him, but it could be tricky. But it's all out there. I read Rich Paul's statement different than other people read it and taking my own thing. So everything is on the table when it comes to LeBron.
Huh.
I was talking to some of the dads on my son's baseball team. We were chatting about this. And we were saying that the NBA should hope that LeBron keeps these theatrics and this going because you've noticed that the LeBron, Steph Curry, that generation of superstars, as they age, unless these young stars start emerging, the NBA is they don't want, saying goodbye to LeBron and Steph in a few years, that's not good for the NBA. So these theatrics are great.
What's interesting also is Laker fans are split on this. There's some who are tired of LeBron and the circus around him, like my cousin who was in our group chat last night saying farewell if he's going to, agree to a trade
you
and go
even
elsewhere.
said you're open to him.
Yeah. I mean, if they put the right players around Luka and get a couple of bigs, then they'll be all right and they'll be set for the future.
Well, Ayton has stated that he wants to play with Luka, not necessarily LeBron.
He hasn't
right?
said it. There's rumors that he and Luka have wanted to play together. Now, there's also Laker fans like my older brother who wrote right back to my cousin and said, who are you going to replace LeBron with? You take him for granted.
Dude, I agree.
And so there's lots of Laker fans arguing over this.
Your cousin, I have Met friends like that. I have 49er fan friends like that where they have this like fire the coach or get rid of this player. And it's like, and replace him with who?
That's a good point.
It's
and
like
the other point we made, and you forgot your own point, Rich, or maybe you were getting to it. I'm sorry. You were getting to it probably. But when we were doing our pre-show meeting, you were saying how people should be kissing LeBron's ass because we're never going to see this again. And you got to take it all in. Like, he's underappreciated almost. You were going on this rant.
Well,
I'm like,
I think that we're going to look back. LeBron's a great example of this happens a lot with politicians on both sides, right? Where it's like you can't really assess their
value
or their tenure impact until years later. And I think we're going to look back and be like, man, we're really – I know he brought it on himself a little bit with the not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all that nonsense.
Very outspoken guy. So, yeah, he got a lot of criticism.
Not 3, not 4.
Not 10, not 11.
He went to 9 finals, though. I'm saying
let
that sink in. 9 finals.
I think we are going to look back and be like, yeah, he did a couple boneheaded things that made it easy to pick on him, but we're going to look back and say, wow, we were really rough on a guy that was like really solid on and off the court. Like, we were really sort of jerks
and
at
starting
times.
now this weekend, this is the beginning of the end to see pretty much or start figuring out how it all ends and how it wraps up. Will it be as a Laker? Will it be as a Knick? All these little rumors. Or will it be, like Dan Beyer said, Cleveland, which I think would be a fitting sort of farewell.
And, Rich, we'll miss him in the playoffs and the finals, but let's be real. Some of this LeBron fatigue, even with his own team's fan base, is brought on by himself.
Yeah,
a lot of it off the court.
I'm tired.
I just feel like the end of LeBron feels like when a sitcom or a drama you watch is ending, and they always add some redheaded kid or some like step kid or
Sam with the cowboy hat
or Michael Scott's replaced on The Office by someone else, and there's always that. I feel like if LeBron were to go to one team at the end, it would be like Emmitt Smith as a Cardinal, or Jerry Rice putting on like a Seahawks
or
uniform.
Rodgers as a Steeler. Even though the Steelers are respectable, like him as a Steeler for 1 year is weird.
No, God, please, no.
Yeah, but Emmitt Smith's numbers as a Cardinal, Rich, were not like LeBron's numbers last season.
Nah, that's true. To me, it's like it's interesting, and you guys are all right. I think everyone in the room is right, and Dan's right. You can't be wrong because we're still waiting to see what's happening.
Yeah, and I started Emmitt Smith in some fantasy leagues when he was with the Cardinals. So that tells you how bad of a fantasy football player.
Right.
They weren't Emmitt Smith numbers.
Yeah,
That's all.
I mean, he didn't do. When you look, he did better than you think.
Yeah, he did.
I recently
I
looked
thought
it
he had
up.
like 900 yards or close to 1,000 or something
Yeah,
like that.
in my mind, he had like 100 yards. But no, he was like relatively effective for a minute in Arizona.
But you know what? It's a simple strategy. We're talking about it. It keeps him relevant, keeps him in the news. It keeps him valuable. People start whispering they want a piece of LeBron for that farewell tour. Right? It's like on Love Island, Rich. You may be in love or complacent on a particular team or with a particular person, but why not keep your options open just to see what's out there? And that's what he's doing. So we'll see. He's got one more year with the Lakers and a no-trade clause. How will this all wrap up? How will this end? We'll find out. And what do you think about that whole New York thing? That was weird.
Interesting.
And
right?
also the pressure from his wife, I think that does say a lot. I think that says, if we're going to learn anything from Brady, that was a great example, Rich, and I think that adds to this probably is his last year. His wife is putting that sort of pressure on him. Think about that.